Nittany Lion Roar with Extreme Panda here, and I am going to talk about the top 10 things people do wrong when they're playing Empires and Puzzles. The first thing is not locking heroes and troops. If you go into your roster, you click on a hero, especially these fantastic 5-star heroes, and notice in the upper left-hand corner there's a little lock button, and now I unlocked it, now I locked it. What that does is prevent you from feeding away one of your good heroes to another hero. So that when I do go to feed a hero, like Sashat, I go to level her up, you can see that I can select any of these heroes, but not the ones that are locked. See, this hero is in my favorites. So that means that I can't feed away heroes that I've locked. But I've not locked these, so I can feed these. The same works for troops. If you go into your barracks, notice that for my really good troops, when you click on the question mark, you get this, and you can lock and unlock it. And if I want to feed these troops, you can see that, again, some of these troops are in my favorites, so I can't feed them away. A lot of players will forget to lock their troops or lock their heroes and then wonder where they went when they accidentally feed them away. So make sure to lock them. The next one is ignoring troops. Troops are really important in this game. I know it's really expensive to feed them. It takes a lot of food. But you really, really want to make sure that you have a nice big stable of troops for your defense. And now if you're a competitive player like I am, you really want to make sure to have a full set of 4-star troops for your defense. See how I have that going on? And it's preferable for them to be mana troops. Mana meaning in the lower right-hand corner, they get a mana bonus. It makes them all faster. Plus, if you have a level 23 or higher troop that's a mana troop and you put it on an average speed hero, it essentially turns the average hero into a fast hero. Meaning it takes, instead of 10 tiles to make the hero go off, it takes 9 tiles. So functionally it makes them fast. It doesn't really make them fast, it just functionally makes them fast. The next one is, and this is really for newer players, but that's feeding everything to one hero. So that's like going in and I've got my Sashat I'm feeding, and that's feeding all of whatever color, it doesn't matter, to one hero. Now, if you're a late game player like me, this is okay, because I really only care about leveling Sashat right now. So it would be fine that I'm doing this. But if you're a newer player or a mid-game player, it's really important to be going in and feeding only the same color to that hero. If it's a higher, like 4 or 5-star hero, there's a case to be made for feeding all the same or different colors to lower heroes to get the special to max quicker. But I don't even really worry about that, because you can continue to max the bonus after you've maxed the hero. So anyway, this is what this looks like. I only feed purple to Sashat, and she levels faster this way. And then let me find my Alice. I just got Alice the other day off of the free coins, the event coins, which was really, really fantastic. But then for Alice, I only feed blue. Now if I do it this way, even though it's going to feel slower, these heroes are actually over time going to level a lot faster than they would otherwise. So if you're a newer mid-game player, you're going to notice that you can get a full 30 maxed heroes, which is really what you need for war, faster if you're feeding 5 heroes at the same time their own color. Now, if you're a late game player like me, I don't really need to be doing that because I don't need a whole team of new heroes. I really just need to add one excellent hero at a time. And mainly because I'm out of the high quality Ascension mats, so I can do Sashad at one time, or I can do Alice at one time, and that's okay. All right, the next one that people often make mistakes about is feeding 5-star heroes away. Because maybe they think they're not good or they have too many of them. So let me go down to some of my 5-star heroes. Here's a reason why. See, I already have one Max Delilah. I have a second one that's at tier 3, and then I've got these 2 unleveled ones. So a lot of people might be tempted to feed this away, but here's the thing. It really doesn't actually level another hero that much. And with them constantly coming out with new features with this game, you never know what you can do with these heroes. I doubt we'll be able to trade them one day, but maybe we can trade them one day. But now there's costumes as well. So that actually changes some of the heroes. If you have duplicates, it makes them basically a different kind of hero. Like if I put a Liana costume on Liana, the one with the costume is going to act differently and have different specials than the regular one. So it is so difficult in this game to get 5-star heroes. I never advise feeding them away. Hold on to it no matter how bad it appears. Look, I have a Kagan. I feel like Kagan is one of the worst heroes in the game. Still keeping it. Because you never know. One of the costume could be really awesome. It could be, I don't know. But when you go to the summon gate, look at those percentages. Those are so small. It takes a lot of gems to get a 5-star hero. So, or a lot of luck. So you might as well hold on to it. And really, it's a lot cheaper to buy roster space from the shop. See the hero cap increase? It's a lot cheaper to do that than it is to go try and get that 5-star hero back again. I have heard many, many stories of people regretting feeding their 5 stars away. I personally know somebody who fed away a Gravemaker thinking that Gravemaker was bad. And so you just never know what you can do with these. Save all your 5 stars. The next one is people focus too much on buildings other than farms, mines, and storage. If you are a newer or mid-game player, you really should be focusing on your farms and your mines first and foremost, and get those maxed up, because that's just going to be the foundation for everything else you do in the game. And if you're a late game player, it's the storage that's most important, because that is your barrier to being able to maximize other buildings. So focus on your farms, mines, and storage more than any of the other buildings. Number 6 is letting randomness drive you crazy, especially with regard to like Wukong and Ranveer. I've heard people say things like Wukong misses more for them than other people, and that's just not true. I've also heard people say that Wukong misses more than its stat line says. Let's go find my Wukong. Here we go. It says all allies get 185% attack with negative 32% accuracy for 5 turns. And some people will try to say that Wu actually misses more than 32%. And I did an extensive study on this back in the day where I actually recorded videos, recorded how many misses there were, got a statistically significant result, and it was within that negative 32% range. Also, people think boards are worse for them than for other people. Like in wars a lot, I'll hear people say, man, the boards have been so bad for me. That might be true, once in a while, but that's the thing about odds, is that odds are you're going to get a bad board here and there. However, odds are not that your board is going to be worse than everybody else's board, especially over a long period of time. And so what happens there is you just happen to notice the bad boards more than you notice the good boards. So when you do fight a raid or a war or hit the Titan and you get a good board, you sort of just think you're supposed to get that. So you take it for granted. But what sticks out are the bad boards because they hurt. And then another way that randomness drives people crazy is summoning one hero at a time. I've heard people say that they have better luck pulling 5-star heroes if they go in and they do the single summon rather than the 10x summon. Or like in Atlantis, the 30 summon. And that's just not true. The percentages are the percentages, whatever the percentages may be. It's 1.5% in the regular Epic Hero summon. It is 2.5%. Oh, it looks like the event just ended right when I clicked on this. But when you go in here, it's 2.5% for the elemental summon. And the percentage is what it is, whether I use 300 to summon or I use 2600 to summon 10. But here's the thing. It doesn't make any sense to summon one at a time because it's a better value to do it 10x or 30x for Atlantis. You're getting a better value for your gems there. But the percentages are the same no matter what. It's just whether you're going to spend more gems to get the heroes you want or not. All right. So I could probably do a whole other video on randomness. I have a psychology degree, and so there was a point in time which I studied the psychology of learning. And so, you probably have seen those psychology experiments where, like, you feed a rat like a treat every time it does something in particular, like maybe you're trying to train it to run through a maze or something like that, and it remembers getting the treat and the behavior it associated with the treat, so it eventually starts to do the behaviors you want it to do. The thing is, when you introduce randomness into it with animals, they start to act really funny and weird, and what's really interesting is that humans act the same way when you introduce true randomness. For example, there were psychology studies where they were randomly feeding rabbits and pigeons treats for no particular reason. They just kept getting a random treat here and there. And what happened was, like, these animals start to... Oh, looks like finished the event. I didn't compete this time. But this is how I did. I just kind of did it to get it done. Anyway, those animals, they start to act really funny, and it creates superstitions when you randomly reward them with treats for absolutely no reason, and that happens to people too. When we play the game, we start to develop superstitions in the game, and that's where some of these things come from, like summoning one hero at a time. You think because one time you summoned one hero and got a 5-star hero that it must be better to summon one at a time, and that's just not true. Anyway, maybe I'll save randomness as an issue for a whole other video. For now, I'm going to move on to number 7. Another silly mistake that people make is leaving war flags unused. Now, there's a couple reasons why people would not use their war flags. One is just that they forgot. Come on, people, please remember to use your war hits. Like, set reminders. Like, don't let your alliance down. Everybody's depending on you, and especially if it's a close war, don't forget your flags. But secondly, and this one probably makes me angrier than anything else, and that is people who don't use flags because they feel like there's no point, or like they're not strong enough, like they've got 3 good strong teams and then 3 weak teams, so why even bother with the 3 weak teams? Every point matters. There was a time when we were fighting a war where we won by 1 point with 30 seconds left, and the person who used the last flag wasn't going to use it because they thought there was no point to using that flag because it was just unleveled heroes that couldn't possibly make an impact. But that player went in and got 2 points in the last 30 seconds to put us ahead by 1 point, and we won the war because of it. So don't let your team down. Make sure that you use all your war flags. That brings me to a sort of similar point. Another mistake that people make is breaking or ignoring alliance rules. Everybody in your alliance is trying to work together and has a particular goal in mind. And in order to reach that goal, everybody's got to follow the rules. Hopefully, alliances don't have such cumbersome, overburdening rules that you get lost in them, but there should be a few basic things like minimum numbers of hits against the Titan, or a minimum score against the Titan, or using all war flags, or using, just some basic things like that. And if you go into your alliance, you really want to get used to what the rules are and what the expectations are. And if you think they're stupid and you don't want to follow them and you start breaking them on purpose or just ignoring them because you think you know better, that is a really good way to get kicked from your alliance. So don't do that. Like, when you're part of an alliance, you're part of a team. And secondly, if you're breaking or ignoring alliance rules, I want you to know that alliance leaders at a lot of the top alliances talk to each other. Like, I'm an alliance leader, and I talk to a lot of other alliance leaders, and we know the people who don't follow the rules. If you don't follow the rules, you get a reputation, and all the leaders know. They message each other and let each other know, hey, there's this recruit that we had to kick because they weren't following the rules, or they were being a jerk or something like that. And then it's really hard to get in another alliance when you do something like that. Number 9 is leveling when there's no Titan. So see, I'm 73% on the way. We have a Titan that's almost dead here, a 14-star purple Titan. And you want to pay attention to what level you are, because you get free hits. Of course, it refreshes all of your world energy and raid flags and Titan flags. And so you kind of want to time this out, your leveling, to give yourself 3 free flags against the Titan. You really put your team at a disadvantage if you level whenever there's no Titan. And I know it happens. There's, accidents sometimes where you're just not paying attention and you level, but try to time it up if you can. And lastly, number 10 has to do with tile play, and that is people who hit opposing heroes with tiles when it's unnecessary. I wonder if I could do a raid to show you what I mean. Let's just go in and hit someone. Everyone's online because war just ended. And the event. I don't want to hit Ursina now because I want to give you an example of where I might be able to kill the center hero pretty easily, so I can show you what I'm talking about. I hope this works out. Sometimes you just never know how raids are going to turn out, or if you can even use it as an example, but I'm going to try. Who do I want? Oop, I've got the weeks a shot. Okay. I think I actually want to go with Magni here. Alright, let's see if we can kill Gravemaker. Good. Okay. I think I'm going to be able to show you this example here. Okay, this is the mistake that most people make. I've got this gigantic gap now where I can ghost tiles. But what I see people do all the time, and especially in wars where it's really close, is they go over here and they start hitting heroes unnecessarily with tiles. Look, I've got a purple match on the far right. I've also got a purple match on the far left. And what I see people do way too often is this. This is the mistake. There's no good reason to be hitting those opposing heroes with tiles. It just charges up their mana faster. And see here, I'm going to make another mistake and hit the red diamond, which is going to cause those heroes to get hit with even more tiles. Right? Now I lost my purple match over on the right. But look, I've got a green diamond. You would think that was a good thing, but I'm hitting these heroes with tiles. In a match I should be winning easily. I'm just giving the defense every opportunity. So this is a really good example because it looks like all the juicy good moves are over here on the left, where I'm hitting the heroes with tiles. Like, I'm able to make diamonds and set off diamonds, and you would think that's what you should be doing. But Not in this case, because I've got lots of room to be ghosting tiles. Instead, I'm hitting these heroes and it's just charging them up. I see people do this way too often. Now, I am actually interested in winning this, so I'm going to go ahead and just end it. See what a difference makes when you ghost instead of hitting them with tiles? See, they're charging slower, I'm charging faster. All right. And that's it. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you haven't subscribed yet, go ahead and do that. Make sure to like it.